Hello there, Sarah from 17 once again, introducing you to my Rage Nightmare difficulty video walkthrough. This is mission 18 and this is Mutant Expansion. And this is our buddy Foreman Jones with the mission we were given from the mayor to come and see, and he's going to send us into the Blue Line station and we're going to be going to kill some mutants. And if you're not good at killing mutants in large numbers, then this is your practice room, because there is a fuck ton of mutants. There is a lot of dudes you're going to have to kill. And this next level is 17 minutes long, so this is a long one, and it is a challenging one. Things you need to bear in mind if you don't have them: the more wind sticks you have, the easier these fights will be. The more turrets you have, the easier this fight will be, and the more sentry bots you have, completely the same. It will get easier the more equipment that you've got to use against them. If you have a lot of shotgun shells, it's going to save you a lot of time, because all you will be fighting is mutants. You do not need any other weapon. The shotgun is fine. You'll be taking on a couple of heavies, but the luxury is, if you followed me in the way I've been building things and crafting things, you will have a lot of the explosive grenade rounds for your shotgun, and they chew through those heavy guys really quick. And I mean, if you've got a rocket launcher like I do, you could always put that on and finish them off that way, because that will make quick work of everything. But for all intents and purposes, the strategies I use on this area are the little robot dudes, the shotgun, and the wind sticks. They are everything I use. Grenades could probably come in handy, but I don't use them, and it will make everything easy. Always try to circle strafe around a large environment if there's a lot of mutants chasing you, because they have a lot of difficulty catching up, and that is the best way to approach it. Do it like you do zombies, turn around every so often to kill a few, and then just keep on running. And try to just keep your composure, do not panic. And you should do this pretty easily, but it can be challenging, and yeah, just be careful. In the first part of this mission, there is a ton of, trying to shit you up moments. You will not fight a single mutant, but you will see tons of them. The only time they will ever try and attack you is when you get to the corrugated fence where the dynamite is. Every single encounter before that is something that is pre-programmed, all scripted, and you're not in any danger, so do not worry. So, I'm going to talk about a question I got off a subscriber, and his question is as follows. It was basically, what advice would you give to a guy who's in his, I think his second year of sixth form, and he's about to leave, or he's about to, move on to university or something like that, and he has absolutely no idea where his future is going. And that is a pretty universal topic for anybody, I do believe, because if you can honestly say that you have this figured out, this crazy thing that we're all a part of, then you are lying. And if you believe yourself to know exactly where your life's going and exactly what decisions you're making at every single turn, every twist and turn that life throws at you, you are one conceited and crazy motherfucker, because I just can't believe that. There's not a part of my body that will let me cognitize that even the remotest chance that somebody has this shit figured out, because the people who are closest to figuring any of this life solution out are generally the people we end up killing, like your Jesuses, like any of these kind of spokesmen. As soon as we find somebody who knows what's going on, we pretty much kill them because we think they're freaks, or we burn them on stakes, or we hang them, or we call them wizards, witches. We generally make up any illusory character we can conceive to get rid of the people that know what's happening. But to completely take it away from that massive tangent, coming back to the subject, he also asked me what course I'm taking. And to answer this for people, I'm on something called a digital film and visual effects course. And what this course is, it does everything from filmmaking to script writing to editing software to effects software to 3D software. I learned pretty much every creative medium you could feasibly think that will get used in the process of making a film. Anything you can think of, we will probably be learning or learned at some part of the course. It might not be in extensive detail, but it will be touched upon, and that is what I'm doing. I'm currently in my final year, and shit's kicking off, but I'm enjoying it. And this kid wants to know... Well, I said kid, he might be a girl, he might be anything, I don't know. I don't say that to be, condescending, it's just how I phrase things sometimes. But this dude, this guy, has basically said, what would you recommend for somebody who doesn't know where their life is going? And I've got a bit of a truth bomb here for you, dude. I'm nearly in my I'm in my final year of university. Come maybe the end of April, May, June area, I will have effectively left my academic lifestyle. I will have come out of my university with whatever grades that I've got, and I will be out in the real world. I will have come to the end of my schooling, and that is it. And at this moment in time, dude, I do not have a fucking clue what I'm gonna do with my life. And do you know what really sucks about this fact is every stage of my development is the maturation phase of me as a human being. I've always thought, ever since I were a kid, that you got to this point in your life and everything made sense. You got these epiphanies, these reveries or something, you know, just these revelations, should I say, not reveries, that's completely different. These moments of complete clarity where you just suddenly understood. You woke up one day and for whatever reason you were just changed forever. Your eyes have been opened, you just had that one, you know, enlightening moment, that resounding moment where everything made sense and you had a direction. And it never happens, dude. It never does. And I don't think... You could probably ask your parents and they'll say the exact same thing. 10 to 1, you ask anybody. They did not think they would end up where they ended up. It's just how life happened. Because life seems to have a way of doing things, a way of resolving things. And regardless of how hard you fight it, you almost seem like you were always set to go down the path that you're on. No matter how much you deviate, no matter how much you obfuscate the equation, you always seem to find yourself going in this direction as if it was ordained. And I am by no means a believer. I'm no means am I a fatalist, or do I believe in, any real destiny, or how every event is preordained and, has always been that way. We were fated to take those steps. I do not believe in these principles. I think it's just coincidence, and I do believe it's we as human animals, we crave answers and we crave some kind of system, some kind of amalgamation of sense. We need to think that this happened by design for it to logicize in our brains, and if we can't find an answer, we will use anything to disguise an answer. Some people just go, oh, science have proved it. Scientists did it in a lab, it makes perfect sense, they put two things in this room, this chamber blew up, and there we go. If they can't fix the answer and make a solution with science, they'll make it with religion. They'll say God did it, they'll say Jesus did it, they'll say I believed and it happened. They'll use all these different, cloak and daggers, smoke and mirrors techniques to hide the fact that nobody knows where they're going, nobody knows what's happening, nobody has the answers to these questions, and I do believe that is probably the one constant in life. You will forever be seeking an answer that you'll never find. And I don't know this to be true, this is me just spitballing, I'm just pissing in the wind here. None of this is fact, proven, or conditioned, this is just my opinion on the situation. But every single part of my life, when I left school, I thought I'd know what I wanted to do, and I'd focus on it, and I'd aim for it, and I kinda did. And I went for it, I got there, and it was completely different to what I expected it to be, and I never got that epiphany, I never got that one moment, it never occurred. And I was forced with a decision then on what to do. And I didn't go to university straight away because I didn't think I had it in me to do it, because I was lost. And it's a universal feeling of feeling like you are lost in the gears of a machine that has absolutely no reference to your life, because you can't understand it. You can't even begin to understand what your place is in the world or in your future, because you're going to school, you're dicking about with your friends. The most you think about something is how to formulate a really funny dick joke. That is the most you've ever thought about life, or, what game's coming out in the next month that I can't wait to play. You're not thinking about what you're going to be doing in 10 years, what you're going to be paying your bills with, what part of your prostrate's going to finally, collapse on you and end up poking out your anus, and you're going to have to go and see a man doctor and have him touch your fun zone. These aren't the things you think about when you're young. And as you get older, it becomes more of an impertinence, because that's just how you develop. And I'm just going to have to pause this tangent for a second, because this area's crazy. So, this room is a death zone. You're going to get rushed by a ton of mutants that you have to take on as best as you can, and the best way to do it is to just run laps of this room, drop a bunch of those little spider bot dudes that'll help you out like it's Lost in Space, and just shotgun people. And keep moving, win sticks, and eventually that door in front of me there is going to get busted down by a giant dude that looks like he's the crazy guy out of Goonies, and all you have to do is fire your grenades at him, keep on circling, avoiding the mutants, and take him down as quick as possible. It takes a while because there's a lot of enemies, but it is very simple. As long as you don't get cocky or get trapped, you will not die. But anyhow, back to the subject. you never seem to know where you're going. It's crazy, and even now I don't know, and you'll probably be the same. There may be some people that have always wanted to be something, and they've got lucky, and it's happened for them, and everything else they've just kind of bounced into and kind of went with the flow of it. But I do believe not everybody has a life like that. Not everybody's destined to make complete sense with the choices, with the lives that they lead. And part of me also thinks that that's the fun of living, that's the fun of existing, because regardless of what you do, something different is always going to happen. There's always going to be something that, you know, throws a stick in the sparks of your life, and it's always going to go off on a different tangent. But maybe that's what makes it worth living. Maybe that is the point of it. Maybe that's why we're here, to ask these questions, even though we're not going to get answers, because it formulates progress, it formulates creativity, because we don't know how long we've got, we don't know where we're going, we just try and, you know, go with the flow of it and make the most of what we have. And the biggest thing that gets me personally is the whole grown-up issue. Like, I hit my 18th birthday and I thought that I was suddenly going to be grown up. I thought there was going to be a line drawn in the sand and I would immediately be mature, I would immediately be responsible, I would immediately want to, you know, do things that parents do. I wanted to look at the world in a different way, as if everything made sense and as if everything had a place and I was a part of it now, and I could say without shadow of a doubt what everything meant, what everything was supposed to mean, and what I was supposed to do. And it never happened. I was just 18 and still laughing at fart jokes and still playing games and still completely terrified about where my life was going. And I'm now 24, and it sounds old, but I don't feel old. I don't feel any different. I still feel like I did when I was 18. I still feel like I did when I was 15. The only difference is I'm better at saying how I feel now because I know better words, and I've gone through experiences that have made me a different person because, you know, I've lived them. And who knows, maybe in 15 years everything will make sense and I'll be completely fucking boring, but at this moment in time, it's chaos. It's formalized chaos, and I don't understand a goddamn second of it, but you just roll with it, dude, and hopefully you'll find something that you're interested in when you finish college, something that just jumps out at you and you don't know why you're interested in it, but you go that direction, and that becomes your career, that becomes your lifestyle, and everything suddenly makes sense. I don't know. I mean, I took art and design and specialised in illustration when I went to college, and now I'm doing a film degree, so just goes to show how my tastes and how my interests have differed, because I wanted to pretty much do and cover every creative medium I could, so that if I had to draw something, I could draw it. If I had to do something on Photoshop, I could do it. If I had to do something with moving image and film, I could do it. And I just wanted to widen my portfolio as much as I could, and that's exactly what I've kind of done. That's my motivation. But the only real thing I can say, dude, is do something you love and try not to overthink stuff, because, you know, the more introverted you get, the more you think about things, the more you look into retrospect, and the more you get the old world blues where you're living for the past and not for the present, and there is nothing worse than that. Unless you're getting paid. If you're getting paid, do what the fuck you like. And that's what's awesome about doing these commentaries. At the end of the day, nobody can say what I've said is wrong or is crap, because it's my opinion. This holds absolutely no sway in the world. This is just my little pocket, my little cloud of opinion that people sometimes like to click play on and listen to and endure and maybe disagree with, maybe agree with, but at the end of the day they can sit there with a smile and say, yeah, I've just listened to 10 minutes of a dude talk shit. I didn't do that yesterday, I might not do that tomorrow. It's, you know, continuing to change, continuing to evolve, and it's crazy. But probably not the answer you wanted, probably a lot too, much more metaphysical than you were expecting, but, you know, why not? There's nothing better than a good metaphysical debate. There's nothing better than those kind of discussions. But this is a little interesting. That heavy turns up, that Kraken, and you're getting mauled by a bunch of the mutants. And if you drop a ton of the robots, this will help you because they're a good distraction, but your priority needs to be the Kraken. You'll notice he died before we even knew he was here, and that's because I know he's a threat. Everybody else is just candy. They'll go down in their own time. It's very simple. And the only real threat of this point is how many mutants there are. You're going to fight a lot of dudes. You're going to get to the point where you're thinking, when are they going to stop? But they eventually do, and you will have beaten one of the more challenging areas of the game. So, shotgun in hand, circle strafe like a boss, you will have no trouble here. But going back to the education thing, a lot of this can be down to your parents, I feel. And I got really lucky because my parents support me, but they've never pushed me into anything in my life. This could backfire on me because sometimes I do need to kick up the arse. I'm well aware of this. It's just me as a person. I can be extremely lazy. But when I'm doing something I'm passionate about, I have the most conviction. I have the most drive you'll ever see in a person, because when I get into something and I want to do something, I can obsess. And when I obsess, I conquer. It's just how I am as a person. It's my personality. And not everybody's like that. Not everybody gets that luxury. But when you're picking your future from, you know, a bunch of prospective courses and a university, and you're paying the kind of money that they're now expecting, which is fucking horrific if you ask me, considering all the people that are enforcing these ridiculous charges for knowledge are the people that got their knowledge for free. So it's like, seriously, dude, you really going to come back and do this? And it reminds me of an expression that George Carlin said in one of the stand-ups I watched last night, when he's on about all these musicians that are trying to work off their cocaine guilt by saving third world countries and villages in Africa and stuff. And I thought that was just completely fucking appropriate, because those kind of rock stars and stuff that are now going in and, you know, giving money back because they've got money to burn, earned that money on the backs of, you know, girls with daddy issues throwing themselves at them in groups, you know, mountains amounts. That is a really challenging thing to say. Mountainous amounts, that's better. I broke it up a little bit with a slight change to the ending. Mountainous amounts of drug use, you know, and just a completely decadent lifestyle, a narcissistic decadent lifestyle. And now they're working off the guilt that they've harnessed from that because they've got all this success through the medium of charity, which at the end of the day is still fucking marketing for them. It's just a different kind of marketing. It's a self-serving one where it looks like they're being selfless when really they're just selfish. But I'm not getting into that because that's a real deep and highly contested subject. But thanks for watching, guys. I hope the guide is helping. I do apologise if that was a little bit too deep for you, but I enjoyed saying it, so fuck it. You take care now.